Hello, guys. Welcome to Live with Jacqueline Valdez. I am super excited to be here today. So we have a special guest today. We are going to be talking about his single release. Super excited. A special shout out to Young Raw for referring this amazing talent. So you guys know him as TheKidd. We are going to be talking about his releases, mashed potatoes, insomnia, and so much more. So welcome to the show. Welcome, TheKidd.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome. So how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. A lot of uneventful things happened, but the day goes on.
Yeah, you've had quite a journey and you've had a lot of struggles and tribulations that you've been through.
Oh, yes. I feel like every artist who is a true artist definitely goes through the worst of the worst before they reach their best.
Oh my God, that's so true. I love that. I feel like there's so much beauty and so much depth out of struggles and out of overcoming darkness and finding the way through and finding, like you said, your true inner being and your true creative artist.
Yeah, I've always noticed that whenever negative things happen in terms of leading you to your artistry, we tend to focus more on the negative rather than the things that could have happened and ergo the positive. So with all the things that I've been through in my life, looking back on it now in a positive aspect, it helps me be more true to myself rather than being negative and just focusing on why it wasn't me in the first place.
Yeah. How did you find the way to push through and to keep going and to stay positive and stay so down to earth?
Well, for me, it's kind of more simple than the average person. With my artistry is all I've ever been since the day I could remember anything. And anytime I would find myself in a place of discomfort or unhappiness, I would always turn to an outlet of either acting or singing or writing or just envisioning, because I don't think people give enough light to the fact that once you are in your mind envisioning something, imagining something, that is creating. Like you're just not giving it a physical form yet. And
Uh,
anytime I've done anything like that, just creating, anything creating.
yeah, that's so true. And I love that you said that because words and imagery and thoughts is so powerful. And we take for granted how powerful it is and how much you really can manifest and make things happen.
Yes, that's really one of the greatest gifts I feel like we were given, the gift of creativity.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you found your way through and that you are, really using your platform, you're using your talents, and you're really wanting to inspire and help others.
And it's kind of awesome, but at the same time, scary. I feel like this is like the adrenaline people get when they hang off cliffs. Because my whole life, I've always been so afraid to release my music or let anyone hear my music for the fact of it would affect my ego. But once I started putting out music and sharing my gift with other people, I'm realizing not only do they see the beauty in the art that I'm creating, but they see the beauty that was within me. So it's like this whole time I've been cheating myself from the one thing I wanted most.
Isn't that crazy? And speaking of, yeah, people enjoying you. Hi, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Sonar, for the beautiful comments. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. So excited to have everyone here today. So, yeah, I love that you are using your gift and not, depriving yourself and not, keeping it from other people too, because it's inspiring other people and it's like a domino effect.
It's I can't even put into words how crazy that phrase is itself, because I've realized in me going for my dreams, I'm either helping someone find their dream or helping someone else enhance their dream. And in enhancing their dream, they add only to my dream, which is to spread love and just be creative and be the artist you've always known yourself to be. Self-suppression, I'm realizing that self-suppression is I want to rid the world of self-suppression. There's no reason that you should be hard on yourself when it's literally the job of the world to be hard on you.
I love that. That's so beautiful. Yes, you're so good with your words. I love it. It's true though. We put so much pressure on ourselves and there's so much fear that drives us, and we need to not do that because everything is already so hard enough. The world is already so challenging enough. Life is hard enough.
Hmm. And I feel like one of the main reasons life is hard, like I'm dawning upon this like moment of realization now, but self-suppression is just the world is only hard because we're taught that we can't be ourselves. We have to fit into this society of what everything's supposed to be, but no one can really tell you what's supposed to be for you.
Right.
And I feel like in struggles we find like we get closer and closer to what we're supposed to be doing with our lives, but we run from it because of the societal norms and everything that surrounds us.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so crazy how, it's people are so scared of struggles and so scared to say that they have them and to confront them. And they will either run into a dark place, they'll turn to drugs or to different stuff and won't actually just embrace it because it's not okay.
And we've been taught that like, and it's not like no one has ever like officially told us this, but we're usually like taught that putting on a disguise, like the whole fake it till you make it aspect of life. Like that's
Yeah.
what we're supposed to do when we're cornered and have nowhere to go. But it's like
Right.
once you agree to put that disguise on, you're signing a contract to like suppress yourself. And in that
Yeah.
same sense, how could you ever flourish and be what you're supposed to be if you're running from it? Like,
Oh my God. That's so true. You were saying so many gems you're dropping here. I have been, this is so crazy. We were meant to have this conversation because all of the things that you're saying are touching up on things that have really been unfolding for me the last year, as far as really being cautious with my words, my thoughts, manifesting things, really being authentic to myself, and surrounding myself around people that are really authentic.
and I feel like one of the things that like speak out to me in that sense is like you have to do two things. You have to realize how powerful you are. Everyone on this planet, every being on this planet has power. It's just about when you decide to tap into it. And then
Yeah.
also you have to understand the limits of power itself. Like power, there's power in everything. There's power in words, there's power in thoughts, there's power in energy, there's power in routine. Like all the things you do are building up this power, and whatever you focus on is where your power is going to go. So I've learned recently that like you should put the power in yourself. You have to realize that the good things that you're putting into this world and not what your anxiety or depression is telling you.
Yeah.
You have to look at all the actual things you're doing, and you have to listen to other people when they tell you good things you're doing, because we
Yeah.
have this sense to neglect other people's views of us when they're in a good light. But when they're in a bad light, that's all we focus on. So it's just like, how can we continue to empower ourselves while knowing the limits of our power? It's a whole, there's a whole lot.
It's so crazy. It's so true, though. So, hello, Donnie. Shout out from Maine. I love it. Yeah.
Yo,
I love it. Yeah, so much love for you. And you have so many incredible things to say. And I love that you said to really focus on where you put your power and really start to take in the good things that people say and start to really focus on the positive. So, your song, Insomnia, is that driven from having insomnia?
well, yes. Honestly, like ever since I was a kid, I've never slept. Like even when like before I thought I was like me just staying up because I like had a TV in front of me or like video games or something. But it would get to a point to where like I couldn't sleep, so I'd find myself reading books or just like venturing into my imagination. So like insomnia has always been like a huge part of my life, but I don't think I've become a slave to my insomnia. I think that I fluctuate with whatever sleep schedule is given to me that night.
I totally can relate because I have really bad insomnia too. And there's
Mhm.
many hours that my mind is just going. And then I'm thinking of dance choreography because I'm a dancer too, or I'll think of something with my talk show. And I'm just like, inspired by different stuff, or I'll just get caught up in my mind.
Honestly, I feel like my insomnia has driven me to be a better artist because I can't tell you the amount of times where I've written one of the best songs in my life at night, like when I'm supposed to be sleeping, or
Wow.
like when I'm supposed to be preparing for something with sleep. Like this is when like my artistic drive just goes into full effect.
Wow. And isn't that crazy? I've heard before, like a lot of creative spirits and creative beings are really driven by the moon and driven by the night and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to the idea of darkness, we've only been told that darkness can be dark. We haven't been
Right.
told that there can be light within the darkness. So we tend to shut out all the potential energies that we could feel that would boost whatever helps our own personage.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So embrace all the energies and just embrace your creative side and just write. So sometimes you're really inspired to write something soon. And sometimes like how is the writing process for you?
Well, my writing process is like kind of sporadic because I'll get to a point to where I have a set idea, a set theme on what I want to talk about. And then I'll find songs that either I've made in my past that fit this theme, or I'll just be looking for new music to create and it'll seem like a song comes out of nowhere for me. Like, and honestly, that's why like a lot of the time I'm weird about my art because I have this thing I do where like I'll write a song and I'll have no connection to it, no idea what it's about. But then later in life, I'll reach a moment that's exactly like that song. So it's kind of
Wow.
scary for me because it's like, am I predicting my own future or am I putting energy into my own future? And it's just,
Right.
it's beautiful to watch my life unfold in front of me with no like knowledge of where it came from.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's very inspiring. It's like almost like you're a vessel and stuff just started channeling through you and just kind of happening.
Literally. It's literally just like that. And like for the longest time, I was afraid of it because I felt like this wasn't me. I didn't feel like it was true to myself. But I'm realizing that anything that is within me is me, no matter where it comes from. When I say reaches me, it is mine.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool. It's crazy. It just goes to show the whole power of energy and manifesting and really just, what you visualize on and maybe you have some spiritual connection to the earth and the universe and stuff like that too.
I kind of feel that way because I come from like a family of sports and like military.
Okay.
So, I mean, I have a few musical people in my family, but it's not enough to be like, oh, this is where this came from for sure. So it has always felt to me like I'm pulling an energy from a being waste, like from something bigger than myself. But since
Right.
I'm a part of it, I'm allowed to draw attention to how huge it can be. It's just
Right.
like I
Wow.
said.
I love it so much. I can totally relate because I'm a huge into spirituality, into, being with the universe, feeling like I'm connecting this year with a lot of really incredible spirits and people that are kind of in my tribe and have the same energy and same philosophy.
Yes.
It's very cool. And it's kind of like, okay, this is where I'm going and I'm meant to go and go with the flow. I love it so much. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So you almost did not continue doing music for a while. Tell me about that. What happened?
Oof. Well, when it comes to that, I've honestly had like a lot of moments in my life like that because it's just like it's just that moment of giving up on what you always thought you were meant to do because it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest moments where I almost gave up on music, it was I gotta like think about it for a second, but it was like one of those moments where I have to choose. I had to
Okay.
choose between am I gonna be this normal person with a consistent job with consistent pay who's just surviving, or am I gonna be this person who's full of art and uses it as his weapon to like make a place for myself in this world? Because in me being a normal person, an everyday person, I fit in. I fit into the society that's around me. But in me being the artist, the true storyteller that I am, I would be alone.
Right.
Well, initially anyway. And that frightened me, like to have to disown everything I know, to
Yeah.
be away from everyone I love, to feel feelings that I never allowed myself to be capable of. Like it was just
Wow.
one of those moments of who am I and why am I, you know?
Yeah.
And ultimately, I decided that it's best for me because I've lived a life surrounded by people who chose society over themselves. And like
Mm.
I've watched that my whole life with the people that I love most. So,
Wow.
and me never giving myself that full love, I realized that I had to take this journey no matter what happens, no matter even if I get to a point to where I can't fulfill my entire story and tell it the way I see it. Like
Right.
it's about the journey. And if I die on the journey to being who I am truly, I feel like I've conquered life.
Oh, I love it. That's such a beautiful story. Yeah. And I love that you just decide to walk straight into the fear and just, fulfill what your dreams are. Yeah. Jennifer says, we love you and support you.
Oh, I love you.
Oh, so much love. Yeah, and it's so exciting to see how things are really, you're embracing the positivity, you're really embracing the creativity, you're really just jumping full force into it, and all these doors are opening up for you.
That is the most craziest thing about like this entire journey for me because anybody who knows me for a fact, like actual knows me, they know that I never shine positive light on my music when I make it. Like as soon as I
Oh,
make it, I'm negative Nancy. I'm focusing on what could be better. I'm focusing on why this one word doesn't like pop out in this sentence the way I want it to. It's just like I rain down negativity on all my art. And I've reached a point to where I realized that I got comfortable in negativity. I got so comfortable that like it started to drain the like actuality of how great I can be. So
oh my gosh.
in me taking the final steps to like say that I'm focusing on myself and in focusing on my team, and my team is also myself. So when my team and I like start to focus on ourselves, so many great like doors have opened, like doors we haven't even walked through yet. And it's just the opportunities that can happen once
Yeah.
you start to love yourself and dedicate yourself to yourself. Like it's like it gives me a tingly feeling all over. It's just like it's immense the amount of things that can happen once you give yourself the energy you need. Oof.
Yes, I love that so much. I can feel it. I just got goosebumps. But it's true. You have to really, yeah, love yourself, and you really have to embrace that positivity. How do you get out of that negative mind frame? Because there's, people out there that are, and like you said, addicted to that negativity and comfortable in that kind of Debbie Downer area. How do you push through to get out of it?
Well, for me, I always who's rather
Oh no, we lost you. He is frozen.
no. Am I here?
He's there. Oh,
Am I
you're
here
back.
now?
He's here.
Am
He's
I
here.
back?
Yes,
Okay.
you're back. Woo, he's back. He's
So
back.
I've been I've been someone who's more like pain oriented, not in the sense of like I search for pain, but pain like teaches me. Pain has always been super teacher for me. So whenever it comes to me being in a negative state, I literally have to cry. I have to go somewhere and feel as bad as I can for as long as I can. Because the reason I continue to be negative is because I'm refusing to deal with that negativity. And people always try to numb themselves or like I said before, disguise themselves or like just go and hide. But you have to embrace everything that is before you. And a lot of people's problems is that they don't embrace the pain when it's before them. They just push it to the side, sweep it under the rug, or just ignore it. But for me, I feel like my pain has always it's like Pokemon kind of like every time I get through the worst part of being like in a painful moment, I evolve. And that's only because I learned to be happy with myself after I forgive myself for whatever the negativity would have been. And sometimes the negativity isn't always you. It can be how you made someone else feel and how they made you feel. But in you giving power to the negativity, you've given power to either that person or to the power over yourself. And people also don't realize that once you give yourself like negative energy and it becomes who you are, you're giving power to the negative over yourself. So all you will become is negative. All you will see is negative. All you will interact is negative. So for me, I have to embrace it. I have to face it full on, or I'll just be negative, and I can't live a life of negativity. So,
Yes. I love that. You're so inspiring. Yes, face that negativity and just face it head on. And you guys can do it if anyone's having a hard time out there and who's, stuck in that negative mind frame. Don't let it take over you. Hello, Hunt's Lamb CD. I keep seeing you, homie. More love.
Huntizzle, the boy, homie.
I love it. I love it.
That's
Thank
my
you guys for
boy.
tuning in. Appreciate you guys all here. So tell us about your single release. You have some songs that are out. I've heard them. I love them. They're super catchy. They're very creative. Tell us all.
Well, the next single that I have releasing actually tomorrow, like it's so crazy. Once you become an artist and like you have deadlines that you put out, it's like you kind of forget about them. And another thing with me, with my music, I love my music so much that I tend to make it for myself in the sense that like I'm so ready to hear it that I'm start performing it. And I just can't wait to get to a point where I can bask in it. So with me, I it's still dawning upon me that I'm releasing another song tomorrow. I'm going to be releasing Insomnia, and that song it speaks to me like on a spiritual level as well as like acknowledgement of where my energy is, because Insomnia is a song that like derives from self doubt, self hate, like all the self things that are negative. And in the song, it's pretty much there's nothing positive in this song because I want this moment to be strictly focused on the negative, because again it's about embracing it. And in this song I talk about like how I'm holding myself back. I'll put it in a sense of third person, but I talk about how I hold myself back from being me by like I hold myself down. I hate myself. I don't know why. Something in me wants to change me, but I don't know what it is. It's just a simple fact of like getting closer and closer to figuring. It's like that moment of asking the questions of why negative, or
Yes.
like why have I like been like accustomed to this world around me? And also another song that I'm going to be releasing as well as Insomnia is a song called Yoda. And both of these songs are made with like one of the most intelligent, knowledgeable artists I've ever met in my life. His name is Don't Leave. I call him many other names, but if you look him up, it'll be Don't Leave with a 3 and a 0. The 0 for the O and a 3 for the E. But and me and him connecting in this moment, it was like we realized that like sleep, we stay away from sleep because we're afraid of our minds.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the whole like basis when it comes to insomnia, because it's like everything that's in my head scares me because I can't control it and I can't contain it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Yoda is like a whole like flip of the switch. Yoda is just like one of those puppy vibes. It's just like we're trying to party. I'm trying to meet as many people as I can and go about it. It's like one of those songs where you're feeling yourself and you don't really care about your surroundings, because it's just like I am a force. Everything that I feel, all the positivity that is coming out of my pores right now is a force, and it can't be stopped. I'm a force to be reckoned with because I decide to be.
I love it. You decided to be. So watch out.
But that's what it's about. So
I love it so much. So do you think you're going to have some music videos for them?
Yes, but with me, I feel like I'm getting kind of like too big for my britches because of where I'm starting out. I honestly feel like I'm at the highest level of mediocrity and like amateurity that I could be. Not in the sense of like I know I'm great. I don't have to like argue with anyone about that, but like I know there's levels to greatness. And I know the level that I'm at, I feel like I'm at the highest point that I can be before my next evolution.
Right.
So when it comes to these music videos, I truly feel that like it would be better if they were animated and you can like actually see different aspects rather than just like seeing like a person and focusing on what that person's doing. Because I feel like with animation, it automatically gives you the sense of there's a bigger story behind the story. But with music videos, it's just like, oh my gosh, they're there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really the best director when it comes to music videos, so that'll have to be something I dive into so I can get my point across better. But it may not be with these songs, but there will be music videos to come.
I love it. Jared said, let's go. I love it.
The
So,
boy.
right? Thank you guys for tuning in. Hello, hello. So, as far as, yeah, you would get, who would you want to collaborate with?
Oof. Like, are you asking me like anybody in the world, or like are you asking me like
Anybody in the world.
anybody like I know?
Anybody in the world. Anyone you know.
John Bellion, John Bellion, John Bellion, John Bellion, John Bellion, John Bellion. Like I can't stress this enough. John Bellion, he is a god. Not in the sense of like I praise him and like I send worship to him and all my energy to him, but the energy that he contains is just it's beautiful. Like I can't even find another word to like describe it. Like the exquisite like direction and like concentration he puts into his art is literally the most beautiful art I've ever seen. And I can't be and he for me, John Lennon is my favorite artist of all time. And I know there are the Michael Jacksons and the Beatles and there's so many iconic artists, but John Bellion, he speaks to me because his mission is art and
Yeah.
the evolution of art and the evolution of the craft. Like he's one of the true artists that I can say does not care about like what society thinks of him or how many views he has or how many any he has. Like he's literally focused on telling his story and helping other people find a path to tell their story. And if I could do anything in this world to get
Shout out.
some attention on myself from him, I literally would. Like anybody who's watching this live, go tag John Bellion and tell him that I'm looking for him. Like, I really want to meet this man one day. It is my life. That's like one of the few things on my bucket list.
Hmm. I love
Oh
that.
my
And you
god,
guys heard
I
it
could cry
here
right now.
first.
Like that's how much.
I love it. Yes. Carol said, interesting interpretation of your two songs. Your philosophies can be applied to our lives. So true. He's dropping so many gems, right, guys?
I love you.
I love it so much. Yes, yes. And you guys heard it here first. He's going to collaborate. It's going to happen. Manifest. I love it. Hi, Isaiah. Hi, the Vibe Show, Casper. Hi,
Yeah,
guys. Thank you for popping
right into
in.
your
I
ear.
love it. So we are talking to TheKidd today, and we are hearing about some wonderful gems he's dropping, about philosophy, about life, about his songs coming out. Yeah, super exciting. And then your animation goal one day with your songs, that would be different and unique, and that would be very cool.
With this animation aspect, I feel like I'm truly going to blindside a lot of people when it comes to their ideas on the portrayal of music. Because with any song I hear, with any story I see, with any poem I read, with any book I give attention to, I see it. I can't just like hear it. I can't just feel it. I have to see it as well. So when it comes to the portrayal of my music and my journey, my story, there's going to be a lot of moments where I have to be there for myself. And I don't feel that me being like me portraying that in a sense of like my actual self is there for myself.
Right.
I feel like it takes away from the overall like story I'm trying to tell. So I feel like with adding animation, it gives more light to the characteristics that I would not give light to, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
it does. Yeah, it would be so much bigger, definitely, and leaves more to the imagination for sure. I love it.
And I
So,
also
is
feel
there,
like
yes,
with the aspect of being animated, like with the aspect of being animated, like it gives children more leeway to like give attention to it. Because I can think of as when I was a kid, any cartoon I watched, I was all about that cartoon. Nobody could convince me that Optimus Prime was not killing anybody, even if it's like it's just how people are able to relate themselves,
yeah,
and seeing somebody as myself. And I've been told how when other people see me, they see this intimidating, like great creative person. That's how I see myself. So
oh,
with anybody seeing a cartoon, I feel like it'll be more relatable, and they can like tie themselves into it and not look at it from an aspect of like, oh, I relate to that point in his life. I would rather it have like, damn, I've been in that point in my life, you know?
right. Right. And I love that about your writing, about your creativity, about your being, is that you are thinking about other people and making an impact on them, and embracing that art side and the creativity side and helping others find that side of inside themselves too.
I honestly feel like that is my sole purpose in making music, to help other people realize that for one, they're not alone. For two, the things that happen to them don't just happen to them. Three, to make them realize that the energy they put to themselves is the energy that depicts their life. And
Yes.
also that you got to love yourself before you can love any or everything else in this world.
Yes. I love it. Yes. Love yourself. Put the
And
positive
also one
energy.
more, not to be afraid of yourself.
Yes.
Not to be afraid of yourself.
That's so true. So many obstacles happen because people are afraid of themselves. Don't be afraid of yourselves. Samaj said, yes, sir.
Boy,
I love it. Was there
that's
anyone
so
that you
true.
want to do a special
This
shout
is
out to?
actually happening like in real time. Like, I got like a list, a short list. Shout out to my boy Hav. Shout out to my boy Cole. Shout out to my boy Don't Leave. Shout out to Young Raw for this moment. Shout out to DJ Nero for opening doors. Shout out to any and everybody who's tuned in, and also anybody and everybody who's not, because I know that your heart is with me. And without your heart being with me, I wouldn't be able to make things like this happen. So just shout out to everybody who's feeling my energy as well as giving me theirs.
Yes, good energy. I love it. Whole Mega Man said, much love. So proud of the work you do and the energy you provide. Oh, you do have such beautiful energy, and you just have such a
I
deep
love that person.
philosophy. I love it. I'm
And
so
all of
excited to
this
follow
is
your
like,
journey.
this is all recently coming.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't say this before, but shout out to you. Thank you so much for giving me this time to express myself as well as get to know an energy like yours, because
Oh,
I'm at this point where like I'm embarking on this spiritual journey and I didn't even mean to. And
yeah.
everything that I'm seeing is just like empowering me as I attempt to empower others. So thank you so much for this moment.
Oh, of course, of course. Kanitra is inspired also and said, go. I love it. You are just sharing so much positivity on other people and really making an impact. It's very, very cool to see. And it's very beautiful to see your journey.
And see, it's so awkward because before, when I was like more so focused on the negative aspects of life and my life, I was still good at making other people happy. Like I was still like able to put a smile on like person who doesn't smile face. I was able to make depressed people laugh. Like I was still, no matter how dark I wanted to be, making other people happy was the light. But I realized the only reason I was dark is because I was only making other people happy and not myself. So now that like I'm like seeing this for the first time and I'm conjoining the two worlds of making myself happy and everyone else happy, it's just like my life is flourishing into this like great tree, and I can't help but just be grateful.
Yeah. Aw. I love that I'm a part of your journey. Lucas loves you, homie, says Homemade Man.
That's awesome. I really can't believe this is happening. Like I'm sitting here talking to you, but it feels like I'm gonna wake up as soon as this is over.
Oh,
Like,
I love it. Was there anything else that you wanted to tell the viewers?
the only other thing I feel like I can say is that along with the releases of Insomnia and Yoda tomorrow, there will be plenty more releases because I have a project coming up in probably like more so the end of May. And I am going to be releasing a whole lot of. I'm releasing the floodgates because I've built that dam and now it's time to destroy it. There's no reason to hold myself back anymore. So anybody tuning to me, please be prepared for a lot to come because I don't think you're ready because I'm not even ready.
Woohoo! I love it. So exciting. So excited to keep following your journey. And we will definitely play one of your songs too. So we'll do a sneak peek of that too. You guys have to tune into my Instagram, The Real Jacqueline Valdez, and we'll do a little sound sneak peek there. So what is it that you want to be remembered for?
That's awesome. I want to be remembered for, if I'm to put it plainly, I want to be remembered for helping everyone realize their higher self. And anybody who I connect with, anyone I encounter, I want them to realize the love that they should be giving themselves. I want to be remembered for love. I feel like that's the most simple way to put it. I want to create a love that is so strong that anybody who feels it automatically feels love for themselves, feels love for the things that they're passionate about, and feels love for their surroundings. I just want to be remembered for making people happy and not allowing anybody I love to focus on the bad things in life.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be remembered for happiness, I guess.
Oh, I love it. And you're already starting to be such a huge inspiration. You're sharing so much love, so much positivity, so much creativity, and you're inspiring others to really just embrace the creative side and to really make a domino effect and make a difference in the world.
And that right there, that's my Super Bowl. That's my Grammy. As long as I'm allowing there to be more artists in the world, there will never be an award that can top that.
No. Oh, it has been so much fun and such a pleasure. I've had such a good time talking with you today.
Oh my
So much
gosh,
love.
you don't even know the milestone you've scratched off. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this.
Of course, of course. And I can't wait to follow your journey. Cole says, peace, love, and positivity. Keep the energy, my man. I love it. Thank you guys for tuning in. It has been such a pleasure and so much love for you. And I'm so excited for your journey. And we will definitely keep in touch.
So much love for you, and we definitely will. Thank you again.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for illuminating the world with your presence. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you. So much love. Thank you guys for watching Live with Jacqueline Valdez, illuminating the world one voice at a time. Thank you guys. Lots of love and light. Take care.